Okay, gentlemen. So I just come back from holiday. Crazy holiday with kids. Don't do that. What a waste of money. So I really haven't had time to unpack. I played football, so I look a bit ridiculous. But before Sunday is over, I thought I would do a long overdue update, right? So I'm gonna look at the dollar, gold, miners, and then I'm gonna try and get through as many miners as possible. It's so late. I'm so tired, but I'm gonna try because I cover usually 30 miners. So let's go straight into it. Dollar, obviously this week was crazy. Gold new highs running, the miners starting to pick up, dollar and yields rolling over. So look at the DXY. Remember to zoom out. So descending, it was lower highs and up here. Remember this attempt, it never closed above this descending. And then we tried to rally back up, failed. Well, I was really looking for the 105 close to really confirm the breakout. Never happened. We roll over, and I said if we don't go to 105, we go to 103. And actually, we went below 103. But to be honest, on a daily candle basis, we kind of closed just below 103. But look how far we ventured, like 102.5. Next level, first of all, 103 should be resistance, but if we bounce a little bit, we should be straight away above 103. But real resistance should be 104 at this point, because that'll be, that's kind of where we were hovering a bit. So there's a bit of a support also. So I think 104 will be resistance. I don't think we'll get there. I think we may, pop our head above 103, but otherwise I expect us to come down to 102. And if we lose 102, and I think we will, by the way, I think we're going to hit this ascending here. This is the final stand, I would say, before we roll over below 100 and test this 99 level. And once we hit 99, we'll bounce and then flush. So what do I think is going to happen? I don't need to do this, but why not? I think we'll have a small bounce. I do think Monday or Tuesday, small bounce, nothing crazy. Down we go, and then we start to hit this 102 little, I don't know what we're going to do here, and I don't know how long it's going to last, but I think we'll just sort of bounce and then go back down to 102, and then ultimately test this ascending. We should bounce, it'll look good. No, you don't. And then we're starting to lose this 100. I think we're going to go down in a dollar. So it won't take this long, by the way. It never takes this long. It happens in like 9 days or something, and it'll be very fast. Obviously, I could be wrong, blah, 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 but that's what I think is going to happen. A little bounce early next week, Monday, Tuesday, ultimately go back down, test 102, ultimately really test the lower part of this ascending and actually flush all the way back down. Now, let's look at yields, because yields are, where are yields, Jesus? Here we go. So, you know, 1 year, I'm not going to look at too much. We hit a bit of support on yields. I still think we'll go lower, but it's notable for me. Look at this line. Wow, I haven't touched my charts. Beautiful when it like perfectly adheres to technical. So here, this was obviously resistance. That's why I extended the line. It became support on the millimeter. So maybe we have a small bounce next week. And if we do, a bit like the dollar, right? Then we'll come back down again anyway. So I think small bounce. I'm not going to draw this, but small bounce here. We've already got a bit of a close substantially off the lows on the 2 year. So small move up and then ultimately down. 5 year, and they all cover the same sort of trajectory. But look at that, also off a low. So a small bounce, then back down. 10 year, you can see, look at on the daily, it's like the lows of the day are getting closer and closer. It looks like it wants to bounce. Maybe this horizontal becomes resistance. It wasn't really support, but I think it was resistance there. So I'll leave it in. So small bounce, then back down 3.8, 30 year. Oh, look at that, beautiful. Hits the ascending, perfectly small bounce. It's already started. You can see the 30 year on the Friday was actually the only one that was green. So it's bigger bounce than the others, maybe, but then ultimately losing this ascending. So yields in the dollar, maybe a small bounce, but ultimately back down again. I don't think the trajectory changes mid to long term. Let's check out gold and actual silver. So gold, this is absolutely delicious stuff. Look at that. Look at that descending breakout. Just on that day right there, we just opened pretty much on the descending and just went all the way up, closed above 2080. And that was it. I said 2080, you got to close about 2080. And then that was it. We just kept going. Bam, 2100. 2100 was never resistance. I never thought it was. I thought 2150 would be. No, it wasn't. Went straight through. Pretty much hit 2200, let's be honest. Now, the thing is, this is pretty extended. I love it. I think we go all the way up to 3000 and then 5000. I'm one of those people because there's no floor to the currencies. And in other currencies, by the way, forget the dollar, this is just, an even more a bullish move. But I do think that we should come down for a bit of a retest, some healthy sort of. I mean, look at this. This is a quadruple top. It's done. It's over. We're going up. But I would prefer if we went back down, had a bit of support, and then Kelder went back up to new highs. I would like that. I just don't know how far down we're going to go. 2150 should be support, but this is so extended. I feel like we could come down here, and then let's see. I think 2080, maybe 2100 becomes a support at that level, but I just think 2150 is a bit too close. So at the same time, how much of a bounce we're going to get in yields in a dollar. Maybe we're just going to get that 1 or 2 day big red candle, Okay, that's badly drawn, but you know what I mean? That sort of big red candle Monday or Tuesday, just as the dollar and yields pick up. It's just this big puke. The people who are buying the top buying breakout, they just puke it down. Not like this candle, right? Forget this. This is crazy. This is a big rejection. I mean, look at a daily. That's why I went back down, but we actually held quite well up here. But like 2 days worth of this, but not as bearish, just to take us back down to 2100, 2080. But otherwise, this is just absolutely ideal. This is what we wanted. And by the way, right, we've got gold all the way to new highs by far, and the dollar is nowhere near its lows. I know it's stating the obvious, but I had to sort of remember that at one point. I thought, wait a minute, we're at 2200 and we're nowhere near 99.5. And by the way, we're nowhere near the absolute lows of 77. So imagine we start going all the way back down to low 90s at least. 3000 gold is easy. So okay, so let's look at silver. Silver not doing as well as you'd expect, but at least we're going up. Hit a bit of resistance. If we do get this drop in gold and silver, maybe we come back down here. But I would love to see silver outperform, especially on the downside. What we really want is silver above 26. Honestly, I actually thought it might have already taken place. I'm a bit disappointed in silver, but I think everyone has been for a while. Let's just see if we can hold this as gold drops. I do think gold will drop or level off. I just don't want to see silver puke because for me, silver and the miners need to now outperform. Like it's now or never, and it should have already taken place. So I'm looking for a little sideways move, a little slowly down. If gold even drops quite a bit, just slow sideways down and then pump up here. Because once we take out 26, for me, it's done. You close above 26, forget 27. Forget 27. I used to think 27. It is a level, but that's just, I feel like that would be resistance for like 2.5 hours intraday, and then up we go to 28. And then 30. 30 is basically the 50 of our period, like the $50 mark. Because once you're testing 30, that's it. You're testing 30, it'll hold for like, I don't know, 5 days, and then up we go to 50. And if you get 50, forget it. It's just look online for the island you want to buy. So silver looks good. Yeah, 24.5 is resistance. I just want to hold that level. If we come back down and it starts to act as it usually does, which is just poor, then 23.5 is support. I don't see us going lower, even on a big puke. If we do, then it's gonna, be above. It's probably gonna be 23 at that rate. I don't expect it to go much lower. 25 used to be resistance, but honestly, because of it might be, I'll leave it in there, but it should just go straight to 26. All right, let's look at the mine. It's got so much to cover. GDXJ. So look, we've had a big move. It's justified. We should be higher, but it is what it is. I mean, I didn't do a video for 5 days, and so much happened in that week. Was this resistance? who cares? Not really. Just we kept on going up with gold, so it doesn't really matter if it was. You can see on that day it was, but we kept on going. Done. Next one, it was pre-gap fill. Didn't really care. I think it would have been resistance, but kept going. Then we filled the gap. Doesn't really matter. At this rate, next one is here. I think that makes sense. You know, look at that support, resistance, resistance. Also, the other high we just put in on Friday, that's obviously going to be a bit of a support, resistance. So these two lines, otherwise all the way up here at 40 on GDXJ. On the way down, we're not going to go that low. Probably, I feel like saying 33.5. I'm not going to, it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell. I'll leave it free. All right. I'm not going to try and guess it too much. I would have said 33.5, but I don't want to add a line where I don't need to. GDX, again, same sort of lines. We've reached multiple levels because of gold's ferocious move up. It's got the similar sort of resistance nearby, and I'm going to do the same resistance because of Friday's high. That's the high of the week. So that's resistance to take out. Bam, bam, 30, big round number. Wow, GDX 30, huge. That's probably why we hit that resistance. And then that created resistance in the others. Or otherwise, we got this one, 30.50. So this area should be strong resistance. Obviously, if gold keeps going up, crosses 2200, 2200, we'll keep going up. And then GDX really has 32.5 as the absolute high all the way here. On the way down, similar sort of thing, 27.5. It just stares at me. It's so close, I might as well just put it in there. This one is obsolete. I don't know how far we'll go. I think I'm just going to have to watch gold to judge this. SILJ, this one was actually ideal. That kind of coincides with GDX at 30. This one doesn't count too close. This one is the equivalent. All right, so there you go. Those are the levels. On the way down, I'm still going to leave it as it is. That's what I'm watching for the miners. Let's go straight to the portfolio. Wow, this is going to take a while. Newmont. So for me, Newmont, the resistance was 34-ish, and we did top out at 34 point, let's say 3. You can see that. Look at that. 4 days in a row. That's serious resistance there. If we come back down, this is now obsolete. Not sure. I guess this is the next level. But you have to watch the GDX and you have to watch gold and silver, especially gold. I don't see any gap fill. Forget these levels. It's done. The bottom is in. If we keep going, I guess you have to watch GDX. I suppose this is a level. 35.5 is a bit of a level. It's a small level, but go on. Next one's there. Next one's the descending. I agree. Next one, Barrick Gold. Perfect. Touched it perfectly. Resistance. So 16 was resistance. That was, yeah, that worked out. Next one I've got is here. I guess that is. Might as well leave it in because there's nothing for a while. If you take that out, then it's quite hard to call. Yeah, this is pre-gap fill. I like leaving my lines in. A lot of the work is done. This is obsolete. This is obsolete. Worked well. If we come back down, looks like it wants to close a low of day. And I see dollar and yields going up. So if we come back down, I'd say something like this. Look at that. It was support here. And also look, resistance on this day here. And why not? It helped a bit. I'm just going to leave that one in. Just in case, could come handy. And it's 15, big round number. Perfect. The ascending, I don't think I need to put that in, do I? Could coincide perfectly. 15 is strong support. All right, next one, Agnico-Eagle. Look at that. Wow, all the way up to descending. I know we've missed it, but that's pretty much hitting descending. This one had strong news also. I think it was earnings just before the big move up. So bam, very, very nicely extended. 55 seems to be the level. Go on, I'll throw it in the horizontal, even though it's obvious. 55 wants to close above 56. You've definitely cleared the horizontal, and then up we go to 60, big round number. So there you go, 55, 56, 60. On the way down, I've got this. Why have I got that? Because of that gap fill part. Too close, delete. Maybe 52 though, that's a gap fill. And this is obsolete. So I'm gonna say 52-ish. See that? And if we lose that all the way back down here, not gonna happen. Probably 50. Ah, yes, look at that 50 zone right there. All right, that's way too many lines, but I think that's pretty valid. Lots of levels, mini levels on the way down. But this is a strong buy dip candidate. Probably the best senior miner. Very strong. Just had good news recently, and the whole sector's on fire and underperforming and a lot to catch up. So these levels will be useful if I want to buy the dip. I've got enough in it though. Pan America hit this 14. Look at that beautiful resistance. Makes sense. It hit it several times. That's why I had it there. Next one I've got is here, 14.5, coincides with that famous sort of with that pattern that we saw in GDX, SILJ and GDXJ. That's quite nearby though. And after that, I've got this 15.5. I agree. After that, it's going to be the descending. And then once you take out 17, you've cleared everything going back months. On the way down, I've got 13.5. Well, maybe. If it's not 13.5, it's going to be 13. I'll do 13.5 because this could, I just feel like we're done with the weakness in the miners. There'll be a lot of, I feel like there'll be a lot of dip buying. I think a lot of people have realized, wait a minute, these things are massively undervalued and earnings is going to start getting really nice. So how about we don't expect it to go all the way back down to the lows as usual? So I'll move this up to 13.5, but go on, I'll throw 13 in there too, just in case. This is probably worth buying. I've got enough in Pan American silver. And this is a nice, like, I don't know, what kind of a move is that? From low 12s, yeah, 15%. Okay, SSRM, not happy about this one. It was looking so good before. Let's go to the 15-minute chart. It's much better than the daily. We know it just got crushed on that mine collapse in Turkey. Then what? Then we have this in this sort of descending pennant, which I like. But I don't like the close. And also, look, we were doing so well up here. This is before the whole sector popped off. And then we've just underperformed the sector. I've got more in this. No, Barrick Gold's worth more, but pretty much tied first place in terms of holding value. So it's kind of annoying to see it, down like that 4%, on Friday. It's just ruining what could have been a great day. Well, Friday was a kind of average day for the miners, but there were a few days where was it just one day where all the miners were up huge, 3-4%, the seniors, and then you got SSRM just down 2. It's just annoying. Anyway, it's kind of working on its own charts at the moment. Now, we've kind of got this descending pennant. I really need to close above, well, whoever's in it needs to close above 450, preferably 450 something, to then indicate, okay, let's go up to 5. That's what we need. And that's why I'm on the 15-minute, because on the daily, look, it's just, well, I guess you can still read that, but 15-minute is the best. Okay, so let's just cover the drop, because at the moment it looks like it wants to drop, plus I think the yields and the dollar will go up. So I'm looking for low 4s, 415-ish to hold. That would be good. Really don't want to close above 4. Otherwise, whatever. I'll just add more to SSRM. Long term, I think it's going up. It's just a weak chart because of what's happened in Turkey. But otherwise, given what's going on in the sector, I think SSRM will be worth a lot more soon. It could be the first one to 100% in the end, despite actually going down overall since the move started in the whole sector. For me, really 415 holds. If it doesn't, then you're looking at a $4 test just for psychological reasons. If it closes below 4, we go back down to the lows of 375-ish. If we lose 375, then you have to start zooming out, which I think I've done in the past, which is why I've got this other line over here, 350-ish. My God. No wonder I bought it. Yeah, I'm not going to bother looking all the way back. If it does go to below 4, then I'll start getting more detail. But for me, it's yeah, 360, 375 is the same thing. What a buy. I'll just add this line for me just to know that that's kind of the level you want to hold. If we do, and I think we will actually venture down here early Monday, Tuesday, we could do it. But it'd be nice to have a nice little test, bounce, strong bounce, close the hammer, and then the next 2-3 days just start testing and closing above 450. Once we close above 5, honestly, there's no resistance until, I don't know, $8-9. But we won't get there in one go. All right, next one, Wheaton. Now we're looking at the royalty ones. Wheaton's good. Let's go back to daily. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful. Went right past my levels as if they were nothing. Delete, obsolete, delete, obsolete. This one. Yeah, that was definitely correct. Look at that on Thursday. Hit it, went back down. Friday went above it because it was a good day, but closed below it. We're kind of at resistance. Next resistance is the descending. I'm going to say 46 is descending. So in case we just keep going up with gold, or the miners at least, 46 should be resistance. That should be sold because this is a hell of a move of bad news. So this definitely should come back down, even if gold goes up. Think about it. You've kind of got a ruined chart. You've got a massive bounce because of the sector. You're hitting big resistance, and it's after bad news, just running because of the sector. This should come back down. It could even come back down straight away. Yeah, I'd say 42. There's no real support here in this chart. I'm just doing it because it was 42 was a good level before. After that, 40, big round number, gap fill. Don't think we're going to go there. The sector could just keep it going, keep going. And by the way, bad news, it was just saying that they think they're going to make 50% gains in the next 5 years. It wasn't actually bad news. It's just that's the way the stock reacted. So this is probably fake bad news. So there you go. Descending is resistance. I don't see us going higher because it's strong resistance. If we do, then it's going to be 48. And now if we do go back down, support 42. I'm not too sure about this one. You could say 43. I don't know. It's quite hard to call actually because this gap fill's been done. So that's all obsolete. I would say 42-ish, low 42s, and then 40. All right, next one is Metalla. I like going through this a bit quicker. Okay, first of all, look at this huge descending. Look at that. We touched it. Beautiful. Resistance is where we are. 285. Support will be, yeah, around 270. Yeah, I agree. If we go below that, I guess 250. But definitely down here in the lows, 230. Move it up. Oh, actually 240. 240. So let's say 270, 240, maybe 250. But come on, buy the dip. Jesus, look at this. It's a good stock. Why would you be able to push it down to 250 alone? So once we close above this descending, straight to 3. Nice horizontal, big round number. After that, 320. After that, 350, 360. I agree with all that. I remember those levels by heart. But look at this, beautiful. Just stop below the descending. We need to close above the descending. And if we do, we'll probably go straight past 3, actually. All right, let's go straight to the silver stocks. Okay. Ah, beautiful. Look at that. Prior support was resistance on the money, 540. But this is such a squeeze candidate. My goodness. If silver starts to move, it's over. Support on the way down. Yes, 510. After that, maybe. Yes, okay. Just below 490. Well, it was resistance. No, I'm sorry. I feel like it's more here, 480, but still, can you imagine something going down this much? Something that's so ready for all reasons to just squeeze up. It's hard to call actually where support will be. I'll put it back to 490. I just can't imagine it going. This is stronger support and more obvious support, but I just don't see us going this far down. I'll move this one here because those levels are all finished. Yeah, those are all the levels I see. On the way up, let's imagine we take out 540. Honestly, it's going to be the descending. Once we take out the descending, which will really be confirmed by a takeout of this 580. Then we run. The gap fill is probably going to be irrelevant at that point. Straight to 650. Yeah, I'll just leave those levels in. They're not wrong. They weren't wrong before, in my opinion, and they haven't changed now. We haven't even visited them yet. So there you go. First Majestic looks decent. It's had a nice run. Next one, Fortuna. Boom. Nice move. Nice bounce, straight past 3. I had 320 as resistance. Didn't really work, which is fine with me. Support is going to be 3-ish. Yeah, 3. Resistance should be the pre-gap fill at 340. Yeah, and then there's after gap fill. Then we keep going 390, and then all the way up here 420-ish. I agree with that. Support, if we keep going low, 270, I doubt we get that. It's like all the other ones, you know, they are levels, but I just can't imagine going all the way back down. Like, what does it take, you know, to get some sort of a support moving up, higher, low? So I'll leave that as it is. Next one, EXK. This is the one I hate, has actually done so well. Look at that massive day. That just changed everything. It's up like 13%. Close a higher day, took out the descending, the very obvious descending, in my opinion. Since then, kept going, kept going. Look at that. Friday, even though it was a red day, we still made new highs. We almost tested 2. So 2, I think, yeah, the high on Friday. I think I forgot to put the high of Friday on several of them recently, but the high on Friday definitely going to be resistance after that. It's quite hard to call, but I think, yeah, 230. It's a big move, but I think it can do it. And also by then, you are hitting the next descending. So there you go. I'll leave that. Support. Hard to call. Probably the descending retest, but you're not going to go there. And if you do, it's like testing the absolute lows again. If you consider the time relevant. So maybe 170. This one didn't seem to be real. I'm going to put this one here, but I don't think we go that low. I feel like this one will hold its own. Just hover and then pop again. It's just so cheap. Yeah, I think that was that candle there, that huge 13% candle, bullish engulfing, was just the wake up call to everyone in the XK, just saying, okay, guys, this is ridiculous and it's over. Next one, CDE, Couer, my little friend, that closed below 250 on that day, and then boom, reversal, up we go, gap fill is done. I'm seeing the chart for this for the first time for a lot of them because I only had my phone on holiday. Beautiful though, look at this, $3, boom. Was it resistance? No. We filled the gap. Look at that on that Thursday, filled the gap perfectly, closed the high of day 319. And then there's that Friday where it's sort of, you know, we ventured higher, but then we closed red. A lot of them did that. Nothing crazy. So gap fill is done. Next, so now this becomes the real resistance, right? Next resistance is 330. Next support is going to be $3. And if we lose that, there's no way we're going down to 250. It's probably going to be something like this, 275-ish, but I'll leave this in because it's absolute support anyway. I think $3 will hold. Kelderglen is ready to go all the way up to the next resistance, by the way, in my opinion, 370, definitely, obviously. Then 4 is not resistance, then it's going to be really... Then it's going to be 450 because we are on for a bull run and I know exactly how Kelderglen reacts. It just goes up more than anything else. So if we start closing above 370, we get 4, go straight to 450. And after that, we can start playing around with the next levels, even though they seem pretty obvious already. There you go. That's Couer. Next one, Discovery DSVSF. I felt like buying this one a bit more. So first of all, a bit like EXK had this nice day here, but we closed a high of day and look at this descending. That was it. Next day, gap up and run. This was like 20%, 20 something crazy. And that was actually after having already a bit of a crazy day. So we closed here. Yeah, look at that, 25%. And imagine you take into account the day before. That's 30% in 2 days. Beautiful. And then what did it do whilst everything else kept on sort of climbing overall? It just retraced too much. Even tested 50, which is for me a support and resistance zone. So actually it remains the case. 50 is support. After that, it's going to be, well, this is the next support, but that's just going all the way back down. I didn't see that happening. And retesting the descending will basically take you down to the lows again. So I think the 50 will hold. Resistance is the high up here. So that's 60, 59, 60. After that, I've got this level. I don't think that's the case. I think if you take out 60, you're going to run way more. 65 and 70. Big numbers now. 5-cent increments. There you go. Probably worth buying Discovery Silver, actually. Okay, that's the silver stocks done. ARMN. I don't think I'm going to go through all the miners, guys. I'm just so tired, and I reckon very few will watch this anyway because it's done so late on a Friday and Monday morning. The market's moving. So doing the other extra 20, I just can't do it this time. Okay, Aris Mine. Oh, look at that. First time seeing these charts for almost all of them. Well, first of all, this 280 was beautiful because it was hard to call this level with such a spread in the bid offer, bid ask. It's a bit illiquid. So 280 pretty much was the level. Then we took out the descending, and then we ran descending is now obsolete. I had 320 as resistance, I guess, because here went straight through there and hit 350, 340 actually. Next level is the high of 370. I guess 350 is also, yeah. We're kind of close all, yeah, we touched 340, close just below. This is probably going to go test 370 quite soon. If we have a bit of a move up very quickly, 370. And after that, I remember this, there's not really much until 480. That's a wild move. It's already done a nice move from the 280 retracement, 20%. But I mean, all the way up here, you're 75%. Just look from where we are now, 42%. Well, they've all got wild moves, but this one I think is really, really strong. So 340, next one, 370. After that, 480. On the way down, it's going to be 280. And actually, that'll be even stronger support. I don't think we get down there because of how strong gold is now. And we're not going to go all the way back down to 2040 in gold. And on top of that, you've got the ascending that's coming closer and closer, higher and higher. And actually, by then, it's going to be around 280. So 280 on the way down. I'm not looking below that. Otherwise, 340, which is where we kind of closed. 370, 480. Next one, Max Silver, the one I hated as much as EXK. Didn't move as much as EXK, but still had a descending breakout. I only managed to go to 9 something, which how much of a move from the bottom is that? Not very good, 12%-ish. Close at low of day. Horrible stock. Support is going to be, I would say here, sort of 870-ish. That's kind of where you jumped from the initial move. I'm going to say, I don't, otherwise it's all the way back down to lows, and that's just pathetic. But otherwise, the high of the week, 9, sort of just below 940. Then you run, well, then I don't know. Then 10, Jesus Christ, you should be making that already. $10. And then we'll see about the other levels. This is just, wow. I was expecting Max Hill to have a bit of an EXK move, but not the case. All right, those are the levels. It's probably not even going to get to 10 next week. Probably more likely to get to 826 than 10 if there's a move down in gold. Unbelievable. All right, next one is Gogold. This is my lowest weakest holding actually. But actually it's done quite well, hasn't it? Look at that. Nice bounce. Now we're trying prior support. I guess it was there. I got that off by a few. It was 81 and it's 80. Yeah, 5 cents off. Okay, well, there you go. It is what it is. I can see that now also. Look at that support, and becomes resistance. So 86 is resistance. The whole week we were closing just below. Well, not closing, but that was the test. Like the high of day or the close of day test, 86 for GLGDF. On the way down, honestly, you probably expected to find support just below, just above the lows here. So not 70, but it's going to more likely be, 75-ish. So I'll just say something like this is your support. Otherwise, on the way up, it's going to be the descending. Obviously, look how many times it's hit that. So once we take out 86, let's say we close above 87, we're going to run to probably here. which is $1. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Psychological, last horizontal, and the major strategic long-term descending. So $1 definitely is going to be a resistance. After that, we squeeze, but we'll probably pit stop at 115 because that was the high so long for so many months. And then after that, we run to these horizontal levels. Right, next one after that is my last one, SBSW. I wanted to buy IAMGOLD, but I didn't because I was on holiday. Otherwise, that would have made the list because it would have been one of my holdings, but it's not, unfortunately. And that one ran like 20% also. To be honest, they all ran, but IAMGOLD just looks so strong. It's been strong when everything's been weak. So that's just a battle I have to deal with. Hopefully, everything retraces in IAMGOLD. I would love to buy it. I might just dump Mag Silver and throw it in IAMGOLD. Anyway, SBSW, which had a horrible day over here, Tuesday the 5th, and then that was a close below 4. Reversal all the way up, flush out. Don't have physical stops, only have psychological stops for this type of a reason. Next day, just great day in Palladium, I remember. Palladium had an okay week actually in the end, but this one is a multi-metal mine. Palladium, platinum, a bit of gold, I think. Rhodium, these things I've never heard of, to be honest. Okay, so 470 is a bit of a level. I can see that. It was the level over here. And it was the high of the week. So let's just say 470 is a bit of a level. We take that out. 510 after that. 540, then the all-important 580. On the way down, I'd expect a descending. And after that, it's going to really be... It's going to be 410-ish. And then 4. I don't see it's going all the way back down. I think Palladium's made a bit of a bottom too. There you go. That's it. That was quite quick, but I'm going to have to miss out all these other ones. Sorry, guys. It's just too late. And I want to start making videos more frequently. I really missed it during my holiday. Had a good time, but you know, when the week's like it has been, it's a shame to be missing out on doing this type of content. So hopefully you find this of value, and let's have some good luck next week. I do expect a move up in just a small retracement, right? So up a move up in the dollar and yield just a little bit of a move down in metals and miners. I think a healthy move where we see them holding up quite well, and then the next move up will just continue. Especially with the miners, it's time to see the miners and silver really outperform. Gold's done everything it can, and it's going to keep going, but it's, you know, it's really done its job. So it's time for silver and the miners to run now. So good luck to all of us. Enjoy.